G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in on the north side of the map in the colour blue, playing as the English, we've got Kaup. And on the south side of the map in the colour teal, playing as the Mongols, we've got Keshik, who is yet to put his town centre down, but he's got a pretty good spot back here. Take a look at this. We got gold, we got wood, we got all the things that we need, and of course, we've got our Zoom at home, I guess you could call it, our Walmart Zoom. I'm still waiting for it, don't worry. I'm sure that they're going to patch it. It might come through in a couple of months. We'll get it eventually. But welcome to this casted game. Now, we're watching right now on the... Oh, Lord, it's coming right now. We got Kaup going for a classic villager rush here. This is very early on. Now, keep in mind, behind this, back at home, he's got everything going on for himself. He just brings up these villagers. There's a little bit of idle time. You can see he's bringing them right up right now. Keshik not going to be able to spot this one out, and all of a sudden, the first villager under attack. Let's get ourselves a little bit of a tactical zoom right there. Second villager under threat right now as the first one is already dead. We're going to zoom it all the way across. We can't zoom in game, but we can zoom in OBS, and that's what matters. But already these villagers are moving over towards the Uvu. A little bit unfortunate with the opening here, and look at this. Straight away throws down the mining camp. Actually, is that a mining camp on the stone? I don't know if that's going to work. Okay, Kaup, going for a little bit of an interesting opening here. Puts the mine... I think he probably failed to realize this is not a gold. You're not playing against the Malians. This is a Mongol Uvu. What's he going to do with stone? And keep in mind, it's not a lumber camp. That's a mining camp. All right, you want to commit 5 villagers in the Dark Age onto stone? Be my guest, Kaup. How is he going to pull himself out of this one, though? We got to check back in at home, see how he's going. He's got 6 villagers on food. Does he just resume his normal build order back behind this? Does he just go up to like 7 villagers and then like starts rallying out to wood, or rather out to gold? He could look to do it. But I'm liking this early pressure that's coming out. There's a lot of different ways that this matchup can play. I've seen people go for something as simple. Yeah, he is. Look at this. He's got the 6 vills on food. 1 vill now coming out, building that mining camp. He's got the house down already. Now, one of the things to note is there's so many different ways that you can play this matchup. You can look to go with a men-at-arm opening. You can look to hit them with villagers early on. You can look to just hit them with the council hall. But it really feels like the English are on the front foot when it comes to this matchup. The Mongols, obviously they like to open with aggression early, but often they're not left with that opportunity, and we see that today happening. So one of the things we've started to see has been, or not started to see, I mean, we've seen it for quite a long time, has been Mongols opening with a stable. And then that way it kind of forces the English player to start with a Rax, which delays their second TC timing if they're looking to do that. Also just forces them to make a couple of units. But this must be really confusing right now to Keshik. He's looking at this thinking, why is Kaup gathering up stone inside my base? He's literally spotting out the villagers and just... That's it. They're just there. And now we see Keshik throwing down a stable. This is still pretty early on. Keep that in mind. Has got the wood to actually get a single early horseman out, but obviously with no Uvu nearby, it means that he's only going to be able to get that single horseman out. We can see the double one is blanked out right now. So already a little bit tough. And look at the response coming out from Kaup. He just knows roundabout now is the timing to expect that a horseman's going to be coming in. Throws down an outpost immediately. Look at that, and the villagers come through to bust it right now. Kaup, he's on the defensive now, looking to pick off that villager. Will find it as well. 2 villagers down already. Second attempt at this outpost. Not going to be successful. He does fall back away from this. He's going to be kiting all day. And you can see, oh, look at the beautiful micro right there from Kaup. He's bringing that 1 villager back. At the same time, the other villagers are looking to tee off towards it. He's having an absolute field day out here. Beautiful micro coming through from Kaup, but I think he might lose 1. Might be unlucky here and lose a second one as well. This horseman is really looking to stick to it. Needs to cancel that outpost. If he doesn't remember, he's going to lose out all of that wood. Keep in mind, and the second horseman comes out. This could be there's trouble in paradise right now. I will say that much. Kaup is under pressure. Scout going to come out here. Did we see the horseman move back? Where did that horseman go? Did it die under the tree or something? Where did that horseman go? He's got a single horseman on the field. How did I miss that horseman dying? I don't believe it. Where did that horseman go? He vanished into the rocks, and that was it. Second villager is down. It looks like a third one might go down here as well, as an additional horseman for Keshik joins the battle onto the field, but is not particularly excited about the prospect of villager hunting. And we have 3 villager kills on the other side now. So early aggression coming out in absolute huge amounts in this game. And it's going to be the council hall from Kaup that gets thrown down here. I would say that it's not really a surprise, but you've got to remember with Kaup, it is a whole different ball game when you're playing with this guy. So to me, to see him going for a council hall, it is indeed a surprise, just because this guy is such a silly bag of tricks right now. You never know what you're going to get. But let's check in over on the other side of the map. Krisha yet to click up. So advantage definitely with Kaup at the moment. He's got the speed. And I'm curious whether we're going to be seeing some trade today or not. Now, keep in mind, Mongol trade has been nerfed, but this is a great map for it. If you're a trader, if you enjoy trading, this is a great map for it, because you've got those guaranteed corner spawns for your trading post. And hello, look what we got back here. Now, this is where Krisha's just got to be making sure that he's paying attention and just hits this mining camp. As long as he hits it once, that's it. The mining camp, he can torch it down, because you can see he's trying to torch it down right now. Villagers just out here slowly but steadily working down this horseman. Horseman, sir, you're going to need to get out of there. Unfortunate. Age up now through for Kaup. It doesn't look like any longbowmen for the moment. Instead, just going to be focusing on just throwing down some farms in the back of the base. He's got the wild larch tree here. He's got to be careful not to block this, because that represents about, what, 2, almost 3 farms there in it. But we can see that Kaup is going to be able to pick off these early horsemen, but he's getting pretty good value, Creature is, off the idle time here that these villagers are giving. And now, towards the front of the base, the Khan gets forced back. He's going to continue coming around. I don't know why he hasn't deleted this yet. This is so silly to keep this up, especially considering it's still full health. So you're not going to be giving over a bounty towards the enemy. So that's another thing to note. But we do indeed see that those horsemen did go down. So a little bit of a misplay there from Krisha. Let's see if he's going to be able to pull this one off. Keep in mind the wheelbarrow's already come through. Now, that's something that we didn't really talk about. The fact that you don't have a lot of resources to work with here initially, because ideally you want to be going for the Uvu, you want to be going for the stable on the Uvu. Krisha didn't really have that option early on, so it meant that he had to look for other places to put his resources. So he's gone for the wheelbarrow. Interestingly, we don't see that silver tree beginning to work, and the town center is... surely that was unintentional. That had to be unintentional. I think that was a misclick right there coming out from Krisha. Now, I will remind everybody that the players that we're watching right now are incredibly good. So Kaup, Conqueror 3, Krisha also Conqueror 3. And I'll also remind everybody, if you're enjoying this Age of Empires 4 content, make sure you leave a like on the video. A lot of people watch and they enjoy it, but they don't leave a like. So if you do like the video, please leave a like. A little bit of long distance gathering coming through, though the town center was dropped down. Bit of a misplay there from Krisha. So Krisha's got a lot to work with right now, as that silver tree makes its way down towards that bottom side of the map. Now, one thing to note is that you're not going to need to put a marker down here if you've got the silver tree down here, but it is a bit of a long walk, so it's going to take you some time to get there. And at this point in time, we do now have a very special unit in queue. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the brand new Keshik for the Mongols. Season 5's exclusive for you coming out here. And Krisha just throwing away the Khan. Krisha, what is going on this game? Krisha just trying to get as much value as he can with everything that's on the field. At the same time, we've got the double archers now going to be coming out. So big production spikes coming through here. Wait, did we cancel? No, we didn't cancel. We just got Keshik's out right now. Scout going to be spotting this out. Kaup only with the single scout out at the moment. But it's in the enemy base, so more than enough info. And Kaup had 150 stone, gathered that up, and then just left it at that. Didn't go out towards this stone outcropping. I think that was probably the plan for Kaup, was like, you know what? I'm just going to gather 350 stone in the enemy base, laugh at them for a little bit, and then I'm going to make a town center back home. I think that's probably what the thought was for Kaup. That didn't go to plan. Wheelbarrow now coming through for Kaup as well. Let's check in over on the other side, though, and see how Krisha's doing as the silver tree is finally getting placed down in that bottom corner. I think, yeah, there is a wolf down here, which means that you're probably going to have a little bit of a howl, a little bit of a bitey infantry getting in on it. Looking to try and grab a piece of those camels. Those camels? They're not camels. They're not camels. I think they're horses, right? What are they? Actually, donkeys. They look like donkeys to me. I think they might be donkeys, but looks like the Keshiks have managed to come back towards the enemy side of the map. Mining camp is still up over here. Keep that in mind, which is a potential bounty that you can look for. And we are going to see Kaup is now looking to drop down the barracks, and we'll begin producing spears. Meanwhile, the Krisha's Keshiks are going to be healing up, but unfortunately taking quite a bit of damage there against the longbows, and longbow numbers are quite significant. So Kaup going to be bringing those back just to defend. Definitely a nice play from Krisha, avoiding that, well, not avoiding, but drawing away that aggression on the other side. We do now see the trader taking a little bit of damage, so Krisha's going to need to come down here and clean that out, unless you just want to deal with those annoying, pesky sounds throughout your game. And I can tell you right now, they are damn annoying. There's nothing worse than a random wolf just howling all game. You know what? It's not the wolf. It's the alert for the wolf that gets me. Keshik under pressure here. He loses out the first one. Second one, getting focused down. Look at the damage that's getting done by these longbows. Who needs spearmen when you've got longbows? Second Keshik going to go down. I thought these things were meant to be armored. Look how quickly he annihilated that. 3 damage only coming through from that. No +1 ranged attack through just yet, and still taking them out that easily. So maybe Krisha has to start thinking about moving into a little bit of +1 ranged armor, and straight away we see the blacksmith coming up. I think Krisha's assessed the situation and said, ouch, that was painful. Indeed it was. Now, one of the other things to note is that you could look to play for a large amount of archers here as the Mongols, and then utilize the movement speed of the Khan to get in on top of those enemy longbowmen. And you can see right now that Kaup is just really so active with his units, making sure that he's able to spot out these enemy units and take them out, position himself, just give himself enough space. Numbers are really starting to build though for Kaup. He's going to start pushing back towards the enemy trade line, and if those traders get exposed and he spots them down towards this angle, let's see if Kaup realizes and makes a go for it. Khan under pressure. Can't lose the Khan. Does see the trader now, and it all is revealed, and all of a sudden Kaup goes, oh, he's trading. That's not good. And indeed, that is not good. That's exactly the point right there where you need to say, I'm committing. You got 2 options. Number 1, I commit, or number 2, I do something, but I need to kill this. And you can see Kaup now looking to block this trade route, just sitting in the middle of it and saying, no trade for you, sir. I feel like I'm watching a Seinfeld episode right now. At least I think that was the quote. I think that's what the soup man said. He said, no trade for you. Anyway, we'll ride on board with Krisha for a little bit here, as +1 ranged attack is now coming through for Kaup. That armor already through on the side of Krisha, and we can see, just look at the unit numbers that are coming out right now. That mining camp is still up, still full health, and can still be deleted. But it seems like Kaup is just using it to do a little bit of scouting, I guess you could say. Keshik numbers have really built right now. And we've got ourselves a little bit of a tangle unfolding in the base of Krisha as he looks to try. Mongol Khan manages to pop out the attack speed arrow, gets it up and begins pushing forward. All of the spearmen just getting evaporated by those archers on the back line. And I think Krisha's got himself a pretty decent fight here. Keep in mind, if he manages to get all of these Keshiks out alive, he can utilize the mining camp to heal up from that if he so pleases. Still managing to take out each of these units. Struggling as he falls back. Kaup now looking to regroup in the middle of the map. Keep in mind, as he continues kiting back towards his base, the reinforcements get thicker because he's moving towards those reinforcements at a faster pace. And now those archers coming up the rear. More Keshiks looking to bring it through as well. A really nice defense here from Krisha. And at the same time, Kaup starting to lose that critical mass, and you can see he's just running for his life at this point. But the longbow number's still building. Still building. He's just making longbows, not even making spears at this point. He said, you know what? Why do we even need spearmen? We don't need them. Spearmen just get killed by the archers. Let's just make longbows. That's all we need. And Kaup just, really taking a page out of the English playbook right there of, I only need archers. We do finally see a couple of spearmen in queue, able to repel his opponent, getting too far away from those reinforcements. Keep in mind, the longer you attack towards your enemy's base, the further your reinforcements have to travel to get there, whereas the less distance your enemy's reinforcements need to travel to get to their army. So naturally, we do see this seesawing of armies as you get closer towards the enemy base, especially when fights are that close. It really, each unit really makes the difference. And oh, he didn't delete it. I heard the sound of him deleting something. Okay, it looks like it was the mining camp here together. Was it a mining camp? What was that? I think it was just a couple of lumber camps that he deleted. Interestingly, just keeps this alive, and you can see it does actually spot out the blacksmith. So maybe that's it. Maybe that's what he's going for. It blocks a spot here on the Uvu, gives him a bit of line of sight. I mean, at the end of the day, you're giving over a bounty to your enemy if you do delete it when it's taken damage, and at this point, it is going to have it is going to give over that bounty. But now that scout in the middle of the map spots out the large force coming through from Krisha. Gotta be super careful here. We cross the 14-minute threshold. We'll switch it over to the income, so you're able to see exactly how big these income numbers are getting. And look at that, only 34 food a minute at the moment for Krisha. Needs to go into pastures or needs to get himself out onto the map. There's a boar to the north that he could look to take. But now those longbows teeing off towards all the Keshiks, and look at this. This is a critical number of Keshiks. Not a lot of spears back here. Archers coming up. Look, the archers aren't even firing off. He's just looking to try and focus them down on those spears. Able to do it as well as the Keshiks manage to break through onto the back line. Archer's doing a really decent job here of just picking off those spears. A single spearman in there, not having any luck whatsoever. And the movement speed comes through. Keshik's looking to dive onto that back line. Look at the damage that's coming out from them. Trying their best to heal up, but the longbowmen still managing to keep it alive, doing the 5 like the kids alive. Did I just rhyme alive with alive? The kids alive do the 5. If you're Australian, you'll know. If you're not Australian, you won't know unless you Google it, in which case, you know. There you go. But once again, we see that the closer you get to the enemy's base, the worse it gets for the attacker. And it is a classic case of the English defending once again with all those English bonuses. The one that they're looking to lean into today, the unique unit, the longbowmen, together with the council hall. Meanwhile, let's check in and see how the economies are doing here. At the moment, 43 villages for Kaup. Compare that to Kresha, who's sitting on 61 economic units. Now, granted, a fair amount of those are traders. In fact, 17 of them are traders. So that's still, realistically, it's a pretty big threat. And Uvu does go down right there on the front side. So it's interesting to me that the Uvu went down before the mining camp went down. Uvu towards the north side. Indeed, it's going to be Uvu towards the north side that gets thrown down here. But upgrades starting to come through. Ranged attack also going to be on the way here for Kresha. And Kaup just chilling out, doing what he does best. Interesting to note, there's no villager forward yet from Kaup. There should be at this point. There should be a villager coming through shortly. Where is it, Kaup? Where is it, and why is it not yet on the front line? So he needs to be putting down an outpost. That's what I'm alluding to here. So a single outpost is really solid for him and allows him to have that extra attack speed. But now we can see that the number of Keshiks is not the best here for Kresha. Able to dish out a little bit of damage with that charge, but realistically, the numbers are starting to dwindle, and this is where it gets scary, because once those longbows are uncontested on the back line, you're really going to have a tough time. But more Keshiks now coming through. Kresha looking to put out the attack. Keep in mind, he needs more production behind this. You just need to keep on spamming production at this point. You can tell that Kaup is very much all in. He knows that he needs to win in this feudal age, and the longer this game goes on, the worse it gets for him. But now those numbers looking relatively even here in the middle. 18, 17, 16 archers up against the 22 longbows. You can see he's going to have to fall back away from this. The numbers are just too much. Spearman also coming through, but another reinforcing batch coming through from Kresha. Over from that west side, you can see he's got that stable there. Probably looking at that double production. And indeed, the Keshiks will turn the tide of battle. Not going to be able to make too much of a connection here. He's got them in the same drag group for the moment. But this has just been non-stop. This is absolutely insane. Let's focus a little bit on the economies behind this. Kresha up to 23 traders at the moment. Meanwhile, continuing to take advantage of the map. Interesting to me is, or the interesting thing that we're seeing is a distinct lack of fighting around the edges. It's all in the middle. It's all down the middle. It's a man fight. You know, you got the two guys in the ring. They don't know how to block. They don't know how to dodge. All they know to do is to punch. And they're just punching each other willy-nilly right now. They're 250 pounds, both of them. For all you Australians out there, that's around 120 kilos. That's pretty hefty. That's heavyweight for sure. You can't go above heavyweight, but if you could, those guys would be above heavyweight. That's how heavy they are. And that's all they do. They're just sitting in the middle, just throwing punches. But I'm loving this amount of Keshiks right now. This is a really solid amount. I think Kresha's definitely come online. So at this point, it's Kresha's game to lose. I think that's the big thing, right? You've managed to hold through the hardest part. The English player's gone very all in. You've defended. So now it's just about not making mistakes. So what's a mistake right now? Aging up. That's a mistake. The most important thing for Kresha to do at this point is just make units. If you win a fight, then you can age up. But until then, you just got to keep making units, because that English player, well, they are notorious in their production. They can creep up on you quickly with a couple of battering rams, and it's all over Red Rover. But now we do see Kaup adding in more production behind this. Another barracks going to be coming down. Keep in mind, there's already this second archery range that's been thrown down. We've got the third barracks that's down here. So plenty of production here for Kaup. Moving up to a total of 6 production facilities, including the double on the council hall. But now teeing off a little bit of a dangerous move here from Kresha, honestly. Pushing into the English base this far, this is a cardinal sin. You can't be taking out an English player. So an English... Oh, the age up. Oh no, the age up is coming through right now for Kresha. This is not good. We were just talking about this, right? Like, you can't age up in this position unless you've won a fight. Because now what's happening is Corp is putting 100% of his production or his money into military units. So this can be really dangerous right now for Kresha, because Krisha not only needs to age up, and by the way, only aging up with 10 villages is another big issue, right? That, as a proportion of your economy, is so small, right? Like, you're talking about, what, less than 15% of your economy that's aging up right now. You should be pulling everybody here to age up, because not only do you need to age up, you need to get your upgrades in. You need to get veterancy on your archers, you need to get veterancy on your Keshiks, and now you're going to be forced to fight right when your enemy is inside your base. You have to take this fight, because if you don't, you're going to lose your trade line. So you have to fight, but not only that, you have to fight, and if you lose that fight, you're in really dire circumstances here. So Krisha going to be looking to try and hold on. Spearman moving forward. Looks like Kalp knows that it is time to go. I'm not sure whether they spot out, or whether he spots out the landmark, but the age up comes through. And now you can see those Keshiks just diving out there. Beautiful spear brace as Krisha hits the castle age, and we can see that right now Kalp is able to hold for this position. The numbers of archers or longbowmen are really solid here, and look at the forces from Krisha. He's just been absolutely annihilated, trying his best to hold on, but it's not going to be happening today. Where does he go from here? It's got to be Mangonel. He's got to go into a Mangonel. He needs a Mango. I think that's it. Otherwise, I guess if you go veterancy, actually, never mind. Veterancy with +2 ranged armor, I think that could definitely hold as well. Veterancy does come through. That's going to give an extra 1 armor. +2 ranged armor puts you up to 2. That gives you enough to hold. Okay, Krisha's okay. Holding on. Hold, Krisha. Hold. Pastures? No, sir. This is not the time for sheep, I can assure you. Now is not the time for mutton. Is it mutton? I think it's mutton, right? Mutton's lamb, and lamb's a baby sheep. And therefore, you know, I could be trolling for the engagement. It's not the time for venison, my friend. This is not the time at all. I think a baby sheep, they have venison. Yeah, it's venison. Just come on, YouTube. Write in the comments like it's not venison, Zongo. But you guys know what I'm up to anyway. Look at this. Oh, don't you love this? This is a classic play. I'm going to tell all of my villagers to build a gur on top of the deer pack, and you know what they're going to do? They're just going to gather wood. And now he moves them all over to food. He's like, oh, that's where my bloody food was. Oh, don't you love that? You have to shift click them. I can tell right now, Krisha's a new Mongol player, because you do that once or twice as a Mongol player, and then you learn your lesson, and then you never stop doing it. But we can see right now, Krisha's in huge trouble. The Mongol numbers are very, very low compared to what we've got for the English side. And you can see that Krisha comes around that top side. Kalp on the defense. He's going to continue down the trade line, looking to pick up these traders on the south side. We see that there's 29 traders out, a decent number here. He's up to how many markets? 3 markets. Okay, not bad numbers. Battering ram will go down here. He's got the heals coming through, and Yu Khan rises from the dead. Let's see how much damage he's able to do. Veterancy's come through on those archers. Has he picked up +2? I don't know whether he's picked up +2 just yet. Hasn't picked up +2 ranged attack. Only got the ranged armor. That'll do for him. And now those Keshiks come in. Kalp on the defense here. Behind this, absolutely no sign of an age up except for that whole 1,000 gold, but I can assure you that's not an age up. That is Miss Macro, my friends. And now looking to focus down the archers, doing a decent job here. He's holding the trade line. Remember, it all becomes about this trade. If he wins this fight, he can say goodnight to his trade, and the Kurultai comes up a little bit closer. He's pushing forward. The numbers of units here, not the best, but still they continue to come through. And remember, the further away you are from the enemy, the longer it takes for those reinforcements to get in. And it looks like Kalp might be starting to struggle, and he realizes, and he says, I'm just gonna, you know what? If I'm going down, I'm taking you with me. But he just looks at the traders, and he manages to take out 2 with his dying breath. And Krisha holds again. And I think with that, it is nigh impossible at this point to say there is no way that Kalp wins this game. Surely there's no way that Kalp wins this game. How do you win this game from here? You know what? Let's talk about that. If you're in this position as the English, how do you win from here? Because you go into a second town center, doesn't matter. You're still behind. You go into a third town center at this point, you're still behind. I think if there's any way that Kalp wins this, it's go to castle, make knights, and then just try and kill the traders. But if you do that, don't you just still die in the short term? Because there's going to be an imminent push that comes from Krisha that's just going to be 100% archers together with Keshiks, right? Like, surely that's it. That's got to be it. That was an insane Keshik defense, though. The surround that they did, together with the healing, this unit, it's growing on me. I can tell you that much. And look at the numbers now coming out from Krisha. 21 Keshiks out on the field. You can see the Kurultai beginning to move up the rear. It's just going to throw it down conservatively outside the base. You know, a man with a little bit more cojones would just slam that bad boy in right up next to the enemy base and say, come on, let's do it. Let's do the dance. Look at the upgrades coming in behind. +2 ranged attack. Yam network coming in, and Kalp in a little bit of a tough spot now. Went from having such a huge military advantage, and unfortunately, Krisha managed to hold on. King's Palace is going to come through on the backside here. Let's see whether Krisha's going to throw it all away or whether he's going to find success here. Barracks going to be coming up on the front. Spearmen holding on. You're fighting up against the English inside their base. That's exactly where they want to fight. Now the spears moving out. What are the spears doing? Excuse me, spears. You're going after the wrong units. And there we go. The spear wall comes down. He's outnumbered by an absolute mile, though. I think Krisha might have this. The King's Palace comes in, but just like we saw when Kaup pushed across the map, and good game gets called. Kaup taps out, and Krisha victorious in a game. I'd call it an upset. You know what? I'm going to say it's an upset. That was a pretty damn good game right there, fellas. Make sure you check out Kaup. I'm going to leave a link in the description to his YouTube, or rather to his Twitch channel. Go check him out. Go say good day, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.